Hey guys, Tex1 here. You may notice I've got a bit of a different surrounding behind me. I'm in my new house. Yeah. Anyway, we are playing some Stanley Parable. Oh my god, it's awesome here. Anyway, this is a cool little game. Basically what it is, it's multi-selective, kind of like a choose your own adventure but in Source. Like, you know, what runs off Half-Life and stuff like that for all you people out there who don't know about Source. Anyway, let's start a new game. Let's do this. Let's not get sued by the mod creator because of a cinematic. And it's another loading screen. Oh, how I adore you Source loading screens. Aren't you just amazing? I could marry you and then drown you in a vat of acid and then feed you to a dog who would then poop out that acid, eat it, then vomit out the poop acid, and then re-eat it. Then he'd probably do a somersault of some sort. You notice I'm kind of just making up for time here. And then probably vomit it while somersaulting, and then re-eat it on a second intergalactic backflip of amazingness. Yep. That's what'll happen. Source bar. You know what? It's kind of ironic, because I love Source, and I love Source, but I don't love Source's loading bar. It annoys me. It's like reminding you that there's white chocolate in the house, and you can't eat it. Is that just me?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
This game's amazing.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
I love that number!
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every
Brain
year.
control, I tell you!
Although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Aww. Until?
And then one day something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor.
Blue screen of death! Run for your lives!
Instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Hey, I'm in the game! Freaking hate that blue screen death, man. Brandon, shh! Doing a let's play. Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers.
I'm jumpy after playing friggin' Nightmare House 2 so much.
Constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
43. I'm starting to notice a pattern here in the door numbers.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
See, this is where the game starts to get interesting. Now, I'm going to do multiple episodes of this so you can see all the different endings. This time, I'm going to do the ending in which stuff. I won't ruin it. But it's it's the first one I ever noticed anyway. Probably shouldn't have played this game earlier, but yeah. Get over it. I only really got through half of this
As Stanley
version of the
entered the
ending,
lounge, he was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Herp-a-derp. Now, this is another question thingy, multiple choice.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now, there is a happy ending to this, but I'll go the way that I want to go. And I end up dying. I'm so clever. What happens if I do?
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh, you
He
can go
considered
through.
the possibility of facing his boss, of admitting that he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, was it really worth taking that risk? All because he believed everyone had disappeared.
Am I just
His
a
boss would
floating
think he was
head?
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
I am crazy.
Everyone I know simply vanishing out of the blue. There's almost no other explanation
I'm going
for
in
it.
circles here.
And a nagging fear began to creep up in his mind. Questions
Where
that
are
had
my
been
feet?
there all along. He just hadn't put his finger on them yet.
So
For
weird.
example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
I just asked those
And
questions.
for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Was he just walking around in circles? Where am I, he thought. And the more he found himself unable to answer these questions, the more questions
Where's the
continued
music?
to arise.
It's never good.
Until he came to the issue that had been slowly boiling until he could ignore it no longer. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Yeah!
Suddenly, every door slammed shut. No, Stanley screamed. I need to get out of here. I need to know that there's something out there. I need to know it's not just all in my head.
What's going on?
And he screamed and clutched at his skull as the voice grew
clutching.
harsher and the music in the background rose higher and higher. And then, moments before collapsing to the ground, Stanley clenched his fists and screamed to anyone who might be listening, I'm not real! I'm not real! Don't believe any of it! None of it's real! And then everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Hello, Mariella! She's black.
Mariella woke up
Oh god,
on
that
day
came
like
out wrong.
any other.
I didn't mean
She
it.
got dressed, went to work, clocked in, clocked out, and then she walked home. But her walk
say
on
the
this day
scene
was
if you
interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to
What was I doing to end
and
up
then
in that
collapsed dead
position?
on the sidewalk. Moments after seeing him, she would turn, run to
Arms
the
are
nearest
like
police station
behind
and
me.
call for an ambulance. But for just a few brief seconds, she merely stood there, unable to move. The tragedy was not the death of a single person. It was that she would never know this man's story, never hear in his own words what had happened to him, or what he believed had happened to him.
What?
For to know these things would be to exist inside the head of the man himself.
So
all she could do was observe from a distance and pity him. But Mariella had places to be and people to meet with, very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career and indeed the rest of her life. She stood there for only a moment, looking down at the body, and then she ran.
This game is shall kill! And that's only one of the endings. That's the first ending I ever got. Now, I didn't actually get to any of those parts. I just walked down the stairs and I actually had to end, if that makes sense. Like, I know, I didn't know when that ending happened, if that makes sense. Doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This has been Jackson1 playing some The Stanley Parable. Go check it out under Zero. I'll probably have a link in the description, you know, all that kind of good, awesome source stuff. Anyway, thanks for watching, patience. Dr. Jackson1 signing out. Whoa! Whoa! Oh shit, son, we got a badass over here. He has one friend. Everybody, get your towels ready. He has a friend. Holy shit. Holy shit.